Hi guys, happy whatever day this is, I'm losing track. Wednesday, right? Happy Wednesday. I'm going to keep today very simple. What you're going to need is your Outsiders packet, and I'm going to have you open to the first page. There's an article about the author of The Outsiders. I'm going to have you follow along while I read that out loud. And then in the comments section after this video, I would like you to write 3 things about the author's life. And that's all I'm asking you to do today. That way you'll have an extra day to work on the chapter 1 questions if you didn't get those done last night. So we'll go over those chapter 1 questions tomorrow. We'll also go over some vocabulary for the novel tomorrow. And that's the plan. So for today, we're just going to read this article. Okay, about the author. Susan Eloise Hinton was born on July 22nd, 1948 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she continues to live today. Early in her life, she wanted to be a cowboy or a writer, and her avid reading helped her toward one of these goals. Ms. Hinton says, "I started reading about the same time everyone else did and began to write a short time later. The major influence on my writing has been my reading. I read everything, including comic cans and coffee labels. Reading taught me sentence structure, paragraphing, how to build a chapter. Strangely enough, it never taught me spelling." According to her, it was her inability to spell that contributed to a D grade in creative writing when she was a junior at Will Rogers High School in Tulsa. It was during this same year that she finished a realistic book of fiction for teenagers. This book, The Outsiders, created a revolution in the writing of young adult novels upon its publication in 1967. In this novel, Hinton portrayed a world realistic for many teenagers, filled with peer pressure, gang violence, social status, and parental abuse. It gave young people used to stories of carefree innocence, busy readying themselves for the big prom date, a dose of reality. So kind of interesting that she became a famous author, but was never really a great speller, and almost failed her creative writing class in high school. Another very interesting fact, she actually wrote this book while she was still in high school. And the book was published in 1967. You'll see as we read it, it's just a timeless classic for young adults. Going back to the reading. We're on the 3rd paragraph. Susan Eloise Hinton became S.E. Hinton when The Outsiders was published. The concern was that boys might not want to read a book about gang life if they knew it was written by a girl. But she did know about gang life. Susan based her writing on her experiences with greasers and socias in Tulsa. The characters she wrote about in The Outsiders were composites of the greasers and socias she knew, with some of herself mixed in. Although never a member of either group, she was able to represent both sides realistically in her story. Because of her success as a novelist, she was able to go to the University of Tulsa, where she met her future husband, David Einhoff. In 1970, she graduated with a degree in education, and with David's encouragement, finished her 2nd book, That Was Then, This Is Now, in 1971. Rumblefish was written in 1975, and Tex in 1979. In 1983, David and Susan had a son, Nicholas. Taming the Star Runner was published in 1988. Hinton's books have won numerous awards throughout the years, and major motion pictures have been made of The Outsiders, That Was Then, This Is Now, Rumblefish, and Tex. Her success can be attributed to the realism of the characters who people her books. They come to life in the richness of her characterizations, which are sincere, honest, and believable. I'm a character writer. Some writers are plot writers. I have to begin with people. I always know my characters, exactly what they look like, their birthdays, and what they like for breakfast. It doesn't matter if these things appear in the book. I still have to know. My characters are fictional. I get ideas from real people sometimes, but my characters always exist only in my head. Those characters are as real to me as anyone else in my life, so much so that if I ran into one of them at the laundry, I wouldn't be at all surprised. So she's really big on characterization, and you'll see that. In fact, you did see that in chapter 1. She's describes every character to a T, not just physically, but also their personalities. She gives you their family history, etc. So she's very, very good at developing characters. And we'll talk a lot about characters and characterization as we read the book. If you really like this book, her other books are excellent also. And again, I think just timeless. So even though they were written in the 1970s, a lot of the material is still relevant to today and issues that people your age are facing today. So what I would like you to do, like I said at the beginning, is just leave a comment. It's not a separate Google Doc assignment. Just leave a comment at the end of this video, underneath the video, telling me 3 things that you found interesting about S.E. Hinton from this article. Have a great day. Get those chapter 1 questions done if you didn't already, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.